Hey everybody, Gary with Camp Trading. Let's take a look at how we were trading the ES futures this afternoon. This is our 30-minute chart, and you can see that the ES actually made a pretty significant run to the upside in the overnight. Went up there and actually hit a fib target level that we had, but that was in the overnight. And then it pulled back and we started making lower highs and lower lows. And then right here you can see there's your open. That's your open for the day. And the ES got kind of sloppy. You can see just up and down, lots of wicks. I mean, these long wicks right here, that's price literally moving, whipping up and down inside of that price range right there. And you see another big giant bottoming tail followed up by a big giant topping tail. And as is often the case, you can see the 50 EMA, which is the yellow line, and the 200 EMA, which is the magenta line, was acting as significant support and resistance. You can see, I mean, every trip above the 200 ended up coming back under. And then finally, actually did get a close above the 200. It pushed higher and then left this really bearish bar right here. This bar opened right here, little topping tail, and then the entire body of the bar was all selling. This bar opened right here, tried to push up again, left yet another topping tail, and the entire body of this bar was all selling also, leaving a shooting star. This bar is a shooting star bar. Now it's not a shooting star off the top, but again, long topping tail and the whole body of the bar was all selling. Pulled back down to the 200, bounced around here. Next bar opened right here, bounced around the 200 again, and then kind of ping pong between the 50 and the 200. And then it finally broke underneath the 50, and at the time you could see it was causing the 5 and the 13 to cross to the downside. Now the bar hadn't closed, and so this wasn't completed yet, but you could see that this was a really bearish bar breaking under the 50, causing the 5 and the 13 to cross to the downside, triggering this previous shooting star bar to the downside, and then the ES proceeded to have a pretty decent fall into the afternoon. And the way we were actually trading that was off the Unirenko chart. Because again, it was really, really sloppy and choppy, and you could see that we just kind of chopped sideways through the whole lunch hour. And then we had this pivot low right here and this pivot high right there. And once we started to pivot inside there again, we put our channel line on. We put a channel line or trend line at the bottom of this pivot low right here. We put one at the top of that pivot high right there. Because again, at this point, we're just pivoting back and forth in between these two pivots. So this became our short-term compression zone, and we were waiting for a breakout. We finally broke out of our channel to the downside, pulled back into the 18, and then several opportunities from here on down. We had a wick off the 18 with a Trender Pro 2.0 signal here, wick off the 34 with a Trender Pro 2.0 signal there, another one off the 18, and another one off the 18. Our downside stretch target was actually down at 32.06 and a quarter and 32.05 and a half. We didn't quite get that far down. We did have another fairly significant level at 32.11. We actually broke under that a little bit, but we didn't actually go down and tag out on our ultimate stretch goal. But that's okay. It was a really boring afternoon because again, we came into the afternoon session in here and you can see just chop, 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 little push up, actually broke above the previous day's high right there, or the previous high of the day right here. And we initially had our channel line drawn in right there at the top of the high of the day and actually broke out above that, but that just ended up being a false breakout. Broke out, didn't really run, pulled back down in, and then just started to consolidate again. And then that's when we put our short-term channel in. Again, we started pivoting between this pivot low right here, this significant pivot high right there, and we were just waiting for a breakout. And we broke out to the downside with bearish confirmation on our 30-minute chart, and then just proceeded to go ahead and work our way lower. So all in all, kind of a boring afternoon till towards the end, but we were patient, stayed out of the chop, finally recognized that we had a short-term compression zone, and we just waited for the breakout, and we're able to catch several pretty nice trades to the downside today.